Fitzpatrick and the Washington football team taking on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
This building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is Tony Pollard. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott set to go on offense for the first time. And with Dak at the controls, his 6th season under center now as the Cowboys quarterback.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. On the option, here's Elliott. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive. Couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A handoff left, Elliott. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 25 carries, 93 yards, and a score.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense about ready to go to work. And at quarterback in his 17th season now in the NFL, piloting his 9th different franchise, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And the Cowboys here on third down, bringing in an extra defensive back. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And they punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know, it often happens. This is all still subject to change.
You're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 12 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
3rd and short yardage, Fitzpatrick. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And Washington has taken a first quarter lead.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And threw an interception the first time they had the football. Wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Prescott now. He's going to find Gallup here complete. A Cowboy first down there. Prescott to Gallup. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. The give is to Elliott. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Run for Pollard. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Second and 11 now. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Here's Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Gibson to start the drive. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw, Fitzpatrick. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Here's Fitzpatrick. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 45 yards. That's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said
he rifles one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. Now the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And Fitzpatrick's throw complete there to Thomas. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Fitzpatrick to his tight end Thomas for the Washington first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Fitzpatrick. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Hopkins' kick is good. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Prescott from the gun. A dump off to Elliott. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 4. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Randy Gregory. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Third and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with? Fitzpatrick to throw it. This will be caught at Samuel. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
First down, Fitzpatrick. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Fitzpatrick. Looking for the end zone. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Fitzpatrick. And Thomas has it. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Washington on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Fitzpatrick again. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll go option to the short side. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Trying to run forward with Pollard. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Fitzpatrick and the rest of the Washington offense back out onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, 78 yards. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again,
again.
and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now Pollard. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On the draw, it's Pollard. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Prescott to throw it. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Fitzpatrick. He'll go underneath through this one to McKissick. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. He gets it to Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
A 1st down throw for Fitzpatrick. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this. Back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Play fake. It's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick sacked. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
3rd and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with? Here's Fitzpatrick. Got a man. It's Gibson complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there and take the hit and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Forced out to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He finds his man complete. That's Schultz. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Jimmy Moreland. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Fitzpatrick giving to Gibson on the draw. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2nd and 8. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Now Fitzpatrick. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Kazin. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he's got his receiver, Cooper. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And again, it's Prescott. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Chase Young, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Prescott's throw there caught by Gallup. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We begin with a rematch of Super Bowl 16 and 23. San Francisco, the winner of those two games, both of them taking on Cincinnati. And it's the 49ers who are out in front with that game closing in on halftime. Jimmy Garoppolo with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. DK Metcalf, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville.